Welcome, my fellow librarians, to my first 10 days in Stardew Valley, modded to the max with the incredible Dew More Farming Modpack by Keenan. This isn't your typical Stardew Valley playthrough. With Dew More Farming, we're diving into a world filled with expanded tools, new features, and endless possibilities, whether it's unlocking a massive 48-slot backpack, fishing for over 25 new species, or riding a tractor across my fields. There's something here for every Stardew enthusiast. Oh, did I mention that the Skull Caverns now has an elevator? From auto-foraging on the go to customizing chests and even adopting wild animals, the Dew More Farming Modpack takes the charm of Stardew Valley and levels it up with mods designed for a richer, more immersive experience, and I can't wait to show you how my first 10 days unfolded. So grab a cup of coffee, get your book, get a comfy blanket, and join me as we explore the magic of Dew More Farming. Let's get started. Day 1 in Stardew is always exciting, but with the Dew More Farming Modpack, it feels like stepping into a whole new world. My first task of the day, clearing out this jungle of a farm. I spent most of the morning clearing rocks and weeds, making space for future crops and buildings. It's satisfying to see the farm starting to take shape already. After working up a freaking sweat, I headed into town to introduce myself. It's always fun meeting everyone in Pelican Town, and this time the modded NPC dialogue made these interactions feel fresh and unique. Of course, I had to stop and chat with Shane. I've already decided he's my pick for this playthrough. I've done every other bachelor but him in the past, and I was like, okay, we'll do him this time. I mean, who doesn't love a good redemption arc? Back at the farm, I met my new chickens. They're so cute and already making the place feel like home. I can't wait to grow the farm even more. In the afternoon, I went foraging around Stardew. I managed to level up my foraging skill and made 130 gold for selling my finds. It's not much, but every little bit helps in the beginning. Day 2 on the farm started bright and early. I was ready to make some real progress on my farm. The first thing I did was head back to clearing the land. Guess what? I found my first geode. It's always exciting finding one of these. Who knows what treasures might be inside. I'll have to crack that open hopefully soon. Next stop was Pierre's. I grabbed a handful of seeds to plant back on the farm. It's the early days, but every crop is a step closer to turning this place into a thriving paradise. Back home, I got those seeds in the ground and made sure everything was watered. There's something so satisfying about seeing your farm slowly come to life. Later that day, I headed out to the beach to meet Willie, the local fisherman. He gave me my very first fishing rod. Time to see if I got what it takes to be a Stardew fishing pro. Turns out I don't. That's more Jacob's thing. Fishing is always a bit tricky at first, but I managed to catch a few. It's such a relaxing way to spend the afternoon, even if my first catches weren't exactly record-breaking. I then proceeded to sell them to Willie and try to get as much cash as possible, saving up for a backpack upgrade. Before calling it a day, I sold all the forage I collected yesterday and today, and my fresh catch from fishing. By the end of the day, I made about 411 gold. Not bad for a beginner farmer. Day 3 greeted me with a steady rainfall, a perfect opportunity to focus on tasks outside of watering the shit ton of crops I have in the ground. Rainy days in Stardew Valley always feel like this little magical thing in the beginning. My first stop was the chicken coop, where I found my very first 2 eggs produced by my lovely chickens waiting for me. It's such a rewarding feeling knowing that the farm is already starting to produce products. While heading into town, I stopped by the quest board and saw a request from Emily. She needed a dandelion. Lucky for her, I knew just where to find one. I found one right outside Lewis's house and decided to deliver it to her. So I delivered it to Emily, earned some extra gold for my trouble. Plus, it's always nice to help out the town folk and get those friendships leveled up as soon as possible. With the rain keeping the crops watered, I had plenty of time to fish. Fishing in the rain always seems to bring in a better haul for me. I don't know why, it's always better when it's raining, and it's a great way to relax and earn some extra cash. By the end of the day, my hard work paid off. I leveled up in both fishing and farming, and it feels great to see my skills improving as the farm begins to grow. Overall, day 3 was another step forward for my farm and my Stardew Valley adventure. Day 4 was packed with progress and adventure as I set out to expand the farm and make some serious strides toward my Stardew Valley goals. My first task of the day was expanding the farm by clearing even more debris. Every swing of my axe and pickaxe got me closer to the farm of my dreams. Next, I stopped by the coop, check on my chickens. They're happy, healthy, and keeping the egg supply steady. It's the little things that make the farm life so rewarding. After saving up for a few days, I finally upgraded my backpack. With all the work I've been doing, the extra storage is going to be a massive game changer, especially with the mines opening up soon. While in town, I decided to give a little gift to Caroline. It's always nice to build relationships with town folks. Who knows the opportunities that might come from this. My main thing with Caroline is to get her up to 2 hearts as fast as possible to get the tea sapling recipe so I can start making that extra cash so I don't have to worry about a stream of gold coming in. Speaking of opportunities, I picked up another quest from the board. These little tasks are a great way to earn extra gold and make friends and just level up as fast as possible. With the farm chores done, I spent the afternoon fishing again, and I'm starting to get the hang of it, and today's haul was pretty impressive. While exploring, I found my first artifact and brought it to the museum, where Gunter, the museum curator, was thrilled to receive the donation. It feels good to contribute to the town's history and start building up that collection and hopefully free him and get the sewer key as fast as possible. By the end of the day, I've leveled up in fishing again and earned a solid 784 gold. Not bad for a day's work. Day 5 started off with a surprise. Marnie was at my door with a new furry friend. I adopted a black cat and named them Mooney. They're already the perfect addition to my growing farm. After settling in with Mooney, I decided to finally head out to the mines. At the entrance, I met Marlin, the leader of the Adventurers Guild. He gave me my very first sword and welcomed me to the world of mining and monster slaying. The mines were a whole new adventure. I fought with slimes, broke rocks to collect copper and geodes and resources. It's a little dangerous, but the rewards are totally worth it. By the end of the day, I managed to reach level 10 in the mines. It felt like a huge milestone, and the treasure chest at the bottom was the cherry on top, even though it was just boots. All that hard work paid off when I leveled up in mining. Plus, I made about 647 gold from selling my finds. It's nice to see those profits starting to roll on in. Day 6 started off with a visit from Clint, the local blacksmith. He handed me the blueprints for a furnace, a crucial step in smelting ores and upgrading tools. Thank God for Clint. After Clint left, I got to work harvesting my very first batch of parsnips. There's nothing like seeing the fruits or veggies of your labor. While heading into town, I stumbled upon the community center. Mayor Lewis explained its history, and it looks like I'll have plenty of work ahead to restore this place to its former glory. Later, I swung by Clint's shop to crack open some geodes. Inside, I found minerals and a few other little things in there that were perfect for the museum. Gunter was thrilled to receive the new donations, and I even earned a reward for my efforts. Building up the museum feels like I'm leaving a mark on Pelican Town. After that, I spent time foraging around town. You never know what treasures you'll find. It's always great to level up and earn some extra cash as well. Back at the farm, I finished my day by clearing more debris and tidying up. It's starting to look less of a jungle and more like a proper farm. And by the end of the day, I leveled up in both foraging and farming and made a solid 880 gold. Not too shabby for a day's work. Day 7 started out with a relaxing morning routine. I tuned into the cooking channel on the TV and learned how to make stir fry. Can't wait to eventually try that out when I have a proper kitchen. Next, I crafted my first scarecrow to protect my precious crops. No more pesky crows stealing my hard-earned produce when I'm trying to water all them every freaking day. Later in the day, I finally met the wizard. He's, well, let's just say, an interesting character. After some cryptic talk about the forest spirits, he managed to get me to drink a strange soup, and I had the weirdest fever dream of my life with trees everywhere. Against my better judgment, I actually drank it, and suddenly I could understand the Junimos and the Junimo language. Fantastic. This is going to help me with the community center bundles, and it all kind of makes sense now. With this new understanding of the Junimos, I finished the Spring Forage bundle. Watching them celebrate was a very wholesome reward in itself. Since it's Mayor Lewis's birthday, I made sure to give him a gift, an egg, because that's all I had. He got an egg fresh from my coop. He was very pleased about it. I also gave a gift to Caroline to continue building those connections in town. Building friendships in Stardew is an important way to kind of build your farm in a sense, because you can get recipes from them, you can get cool other little things. And then I noticed that there was a new quest. Willie had posted a quest for a largemouth bass, so I spent some time fishing up in the lake by the mines and delivered one to him. It's always nice to complete these quests and earn some extra gold, especially early on. And then I decided to go to the saloon, and of course I made time to give my future husband Shane a beer. I'm slowly working on getting to know him better. Just just baby steps. Baby steps first. And then I took my hard-earned prize ticket, my very first one, over to Lewis's house where I redeemed it for 14 carrot seeds. So it was exciting to have more variety of the farm when I already had probably 7 other carrots planted. It's fantastic. By the end of the day, I made about 762 gold, and it felt like I've achieved just a little bit more of progress on the farm, deepening those connections in town, and even adding a little dash of magic to everything. Day 8 began with my usual farming routine, checking on the crops, tending to the chickens, and making sure everything was running smoothly. Do not worry about Mooney. He has been getting his pets. He has been getting his water bowl filled when I remembered it. Do not worry about the cat. We make sure he is fine every day. This is a very small ritual, but it definitely sets the tone for the rest of the day in this game. After finishing up on the farm, I decided to stop by Gus's to get a few salads. These things are like a lifesaver when you're headed to the mines. They keep your energy up for all that hard work that you're doing down there. And I don't know why I pick salads. It's just I've seen a lot of other YouTubers use them, and they tend to give you the most energy and the most like health early on in the game. So I'm gonna head with those. With my supplies in hand, I made my way to the mines. Today's goal: complete a quest for Mayor Lewis to slay 6 slimes. Try saying that 6 times fast. It's always good to keep the mayor happy. The mines didn't disappoint. I fought off slimes, gathered plenty of resources, and kept my energy up thanks to the salads from Gus. By the end of the day, I completed the quest for Mayor Lewis and checked that off my list. Mining wasn't just about fighting slimes. I also leveled up in both mining and combat, which is always good. Progress like this always just feels so freaking rewarding. And then by the end of the day, I shipped off what I could and made about 1,056 gold. Day 9 started out just like any other, taking care of the farm, watering the crops, collecting eggs, making sure the chickens are okay, making sure Mooney's okay, and just making sure everything on the farm was in order. It's a comforting thing to fall into a rhythm like this and knowing that each day brings something a little bit new. So after finishing up on the farm, I swung by Lewis's to pick up my reward for completing his slime slaying quest. It feels good to knock that right off the amount of tasks I have going on, and even better to get the gold that's involved with all of this. I also stopped by Caroline's place to give her a gift. I'm slowly making friends around Pelican Town, and it's nice to see people's reactions when they begin to like you. Then I ran into a bit of problem. Robin was nowhere to be found. I forgot that it was Tuesday, so I waited for hours pacing around her shop, hoping she'd come home. Patience is a key, right? When she finally returned home, I didn't waste any time, and I asked her to build me a well so I didn't have to run back and forth filling up my freaking watering can. I'm looking to improve my farm with all this, and hopefully it makes watering things a lot easier till I can get some upgraded sprinklers. After that, I finished up some minor tests on the farm and made about 454 gold for everything I sold. It wasn't my highest earnings, but it was a steady day of progress. Day 10 started with a sense of focus. It's all about the farm today, cleaning up, organizing, and laying the foundation for the future. I spent most of the day working on clearing the land. There's always so much to do, cutting down trees, breaking rocks, getting rid of weeds, doing this, doing that. But it's all worth it in order to create a clean space and to start expanding. One of my projects was starting a tree farm. I planted a bunch of saplings in a neat row. So I did 5, 5, and 5. I think I did pine, maple, oak, and then I just put rock all around it because I was like, I'm gonna make it look pretty. I'm gonna make it look nice. And this is so I have a reliable source of kind of all the saps and stuff I need in the future, and eventually I'll have like my mahogany row to get hardwood. Of course, I didn't forget my daily routine, watering the crops, collecting eggs, and making sure the animals are happy. These small tasks are the backbone of my farm, and I try to do them every day. By the end of the day, all my hard work paid off. I leveled up in both farming and foraging. Progress is slow but steady, but every little upgrade makes a massive difference. After everything was said and done, I made a whopping 2,122 gold for my sales. All the hard work is finally starting to pay off. Day 10 was about building a solid foundation, a little cleanup, a little expansion, and a lot of progress. If you guys want to tell me what your strategy is for organizing your farm, please let me know in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next video for the next 10 days. Goodbye!